Have you ever wondered how Kuwait, a small yet prosperous nation in the Middle East, came to be what it is today? Our story begins in the year 636 with the Battle of Chains. This historic conflict between the Sassanid Empire and the Rashidun Caliphate was fought right here on Kuwait's soil. The Rashidun emerged victorious, and the Bay of Kuwait became home to the city of Kazma, known in the early Islamic era as Kadima or Kazama. This marked the first significant milestone in Kuwait's rich history, but it was not until the early to mid-1700s that the area known as Kuwait City started to take shape. Back then, it was just a small fishing village under the rule of local sheikhs from the Bani Khalid clan. Thus began the journey of a small fishing village that would later become a prosperous nation. Fast forward to the early to mid-1700s, Kuwait City was a mere fishing village. It was a sheikhdom, a form of government where the region is ruled by a local sheikh. In this case, the local sheikhs were from the Bani Khalid clan. This clan held sway over the region, its influence deeply rooted in the sands of time. But as we all know, change is the only constant in history. In the mid-1700s, a significant shift occurred. A new tribe known as the Bani Utbah arrived in Kuwait City. Now, the Bani Utbah were not just another tribe passing through. They had plans, ambitions, and the drive to execute them. Following the death of the Bani Khalid's leader, Barak bin Abdul Mohsen, and the subsequent fall of the Bani Khalid Emirate, the Bani Utbah saw an opportunity. They seized control of Kuwait, not through brute force, but through a series of strategic matrimonial alliances. This change in power was not merely a political shuffle, it marked a turning point in Kuwait's history. The Bani Utbah brought with them a vision for Kuwait's future. They saw beyond the immediate, beyond the fishing village and the sheikhdom. They saw a thriving port, a bustling trade hub, a beacon of prosperity in the heart of the desert. Under the Bani Utbah, Kuwait began to shift from its humble beginnings. It started to build its identity, not just as a fishing village, but as a commercial center. This transformation did not happen overnight. It was a product of careful planning, strategic alliances, and a vision that looked beyond the present. The Bani Utbah's arrival marked a turning point in Kuwait's history, setting the stage for its transformation. Their visions set the foundation for the modern Kuwait we know today. But the journey was far from over. The next chapter in Kuwait's history was about to unfold, a chapter filled with maritime prowess, economic growth, and international alliances. By the latter half of the 18th century, Kuwait began making a name for itself. This small, once inconspicuous fishing village was transforming into a thriving maritime port. This transformation would not only change the face of Kuwait, but would also reroute the course of trade in the region. One must remember that in those days, the sea was the highway of commerce. Kuwait had the advantage of its strategic geographical location, nestled at the intersection of several critical trade routes. These routes connected the bustling markets of Baghdad, India, Persia, Muscat, and the Arabian Peninsula. The growth of Kuwait as a maritime port was not a sudden phenomenon, but the result of careful planning and strategic alliances. As the 18th century wore on, Kuwait's maritime commerce began to boom. The city became a principal commercial center for the transit of goods, diverting trade routes from the Persian Gulf to Aleppo. During the Persian siege of Basra from 1775 to 1779, many Iraqi merchants sought refuge in Kuwait. This influx of merchants played a significant role in the expansion of Kuwait's boat building and trading activities. In this context, the East India Company enters the scene. The company was diverted to Kuwait in 1792 and played a pivotal role in securing the sea routes between Kuwait, India, and the east coasts of Africa. This not only boosted Kuwait's maritime commerce, but also further solidified its position as a key player in regional trade. Even after the Persians withdrew from Basra in 1779, Kuwait continued to attract trade away from Basra. In fact, the flight of many of Basra's leading merchants to Kuwait played a significant role in Basra's commercial stagnation well into the 1850s. Through strategic alliances, careful planning, and a bit of luck, Kuwait transformed from a small fishing village into a bustling maritime port. By the end of the 18th century, it had established itself as a principal commercial center for the transit of goods. The Persian Gulf had a new star, and that was Kuwait. The 19th century saw Kuwait entering a new era under British protection. The pivotal event was the Anglo-Kuwaiti Agreement of 1899. This pact was a game-changer, making Kuwait a British protectorate. Ruler Sheikh Mubarak al-Sabah inked this transformative agreement with the British government in India. The implications were far-reaching. This accord bestowed upon Britain exclusive access and trade rights with Kuwait, while concurrently denying Ottoman provinces to the north a port on the Persian Gulf. It was not without its benefits for Kuwait either. The British protection offered an umbrella of security, fostering a conducive environment for growth and development. The agreement also marked a significant shift in Kuwait's international relations. After the Anglo-Ottoman Convention of 1913, Kuwait was acknowledged as an autonomous district, or Kaza, of the Ottoman Empire, but also a de facto protectorate of Great Britain. This dual status added another layer of complexity to Kuwait's political landscape. Under British protection, Kuwait was poised for further growth. From the Battle of Chains to becoming a British protectorate, Kuwait's history is rich and diverse. Over the course of this video, we've journeyed through time, exploring the many facets of Kuwait's intriguing past. Starting with its early Islamic era, we delved into the Battle of Chains and the establishment of the city of Kazma. We then traveled through the pre-oil period, where Kuwait was a humble fishing village evolving into a sheikhdom ruled by local sheikhs. The Bani Utbah's arrival and their subsequent control of Kuwait through matrimonial alliances became a turning point in its history. The evolution continued with Kuwait's rise as a maritime port, becoming a principal commercial center for the transit of goods and a hub of boat building. The culmination of our journey brought us to the era of the British Protectorate, a period that further shaped Kuwait's identity. Indeed, the journey of Kuwait is a testament to its resilience and adaptability. Stay tuned for more fascinating historical journeys.